Well, good morning, and we are waking up to a great day. Not just a good day, but a great day here in Salem, Massachusetts at Island Park. This is the view from our spot here at 16B. If you're new to the channel, hello everyone, I am Bob.
I'm Carrie.
And this is 25 Plus Life, and today we're going to walk you around what seems to be the coolest state park we've ever been to. Yeah, that right there. It's an old airplane hangar. We've got that, we got some lighthouses. We got a whole lot to show you, so stick around.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Well, this has been quite the experience, I gotta say. So normally we stay at KOAs. We do some state parks, we do some national parks, we do some 1,000 trails.
Yep.
We do some, random boondocking from time to time in a rest area or whatever we need to do. This was a first for us, camping at Island Park in Salem, right next to a boat launch. This is crazy. So we've had harbor views our whole stay. We've had nothing but peace and quiet, and absolutely amazing. And we're going to get the opportunity to stay in 2 separate sites because there was an opening, and we're going to snag it when those folks leave, so we can extend our stay a little bit.
Are they packing up?
They are packing up, so that works out well for us. All right, so we're right on the outskirts of Salem, Massachusetts, which has so much history and tourism. And we've had just an amazing time here touring, but wow, all the witch museums and everything doesn't compare to this. This here is just a nice viewing area, little rocky beach. Looking up, this is what you're dealing with. You have a lighthouse out in the distance, all these boats out here, which you see a lot of people making some midnight runs to their boats via rowboat, which was pretty interesting to see. So for those of you wondering, these spots here are all what they call waterfront. As Carrie gets knocked around by some bugs,
Can't stampede.
these are all waterfront sites. Cost per night is $45. There's water and electric hookups. No sewer here, but they do give you a pass to go down to the sewage treatment plant, which is right down the road, maybe a quarter mile, and you can dump your tanks there. But what makes this place interesting is that this was part of Fort Pickering at one time, as we learned from our trolley tour, which if you want to jump back to last week's video, we'll show you an oversight of what we did in Salem the first couple of days here. But there's some really interesting things as we explored this site in this area, going out to the lighthouse. There's some paths out here. There's a beautiful beach, Waikiki Beach, which we're going to take you to next. Now here's something you don't expect to see, folks. Right here, Salem, Massachusetts. That's Waikiki Beach. So the interesting part we learned, part of our tour of Salem on the Salem trolley tours, which we highly recommend taking, is that this was actually the first Waikiki Beach, as this was in Salem prior to Hawaii joining the States. So interesting little bit of history there. But I really want to show you this beach because I think this gets overlooked in a lot of stuff and a lot of videos that we had seen. We scrolled through some videos before we came out here, and for the most part these waterfront sites were incredibly difficult to get, but we were fortunate enough there was a cancellation. So the point being is that even if they show as being fully booked, keep checking, and sometimes you can get lucky, as we did. We were able to score a few nights right on the water, and like I said, that one night we picked up across in 10A, which we'll show you towards the end of this video. The Waikiki Beach here, I'm assuming that the water is not as warm as Hawaii. I am not personally brave enough to go jumping in that water, but we'll show you this here. This is such a beautiful beach. This is on the low tide side. As you can see from the water lines there, absolutely beautiful and peaceful. There's a nice walking path that goes out here onto an overlook and over to the Lighthouse area. And this here goes back up to where they actually used to store ammunition back when this was a working fort, which was pretty neat. They do have a mixture of RV sites and dry camping sites for tents and stuff like that. I believe tent camping here is around $14 a night, and the RV sites themselves cost us $45 a night, which you can't beat at all.
No.
There is a gate system here. Yeah, it's amazing sometimes the amount of stuff that people bring with them. They have a gate system here that typically locks it, was at 10 p.m.
10.
But we did find out from the great lady at the front gate that that had been struck by lightning. So as of now, which is September, October-ish, the gate is open 24 hours until something's fixed. So in addition to the waterfront sites and a couple of these sites here that are in the parking lot themselves, you have a whole field up here of RV sites, which we'll take you through and show you that, and let some kids pass. And I was a little distracted because that little boat just looks like our boat. And so it was just a little older. But things to keep in mind when you're booking here in Winter Island is to stick to the outer sides. So like 16A is going to be very close to is right next door to the boat launch, and it gets a lot of traffic. So if you're looking for peace and quiet, stay away from 16A. I look at 16B, C, and D. Those are probably the quieter spots because you're right next to, again, a very, very active boat launch. So as far as that goes, they have a camp store here, which was adequately stocked. They did have stickers, which is always good. And they were actually, everything seemed to be reasonably priced. As for the most part, everything we saw in Salem was. Now, this here, sorry, we try not to keep other people in our shots, but you never know. This is where they actually used to store ammunition back in the day. So it's pretty cool for that part of history. I'm not going to go down too far because there's some tents and stuff, but they used to store ammunition back when I was working for it. This is my lovely wife, Carrie. She's coming along for the ride. So I haven't, normally when we do these reviews, we have some cons to go over. Really haven't found any. If there was one, I say is that we are 16D, which is the last reservable spot on the line, which is right next to a rec hall. The first night that we were here, someone was having a birthday party. It did run a little later, but for us it was fine because we were leaving anyway, because we went out to find dinner and stuff like that. So, if you're in the area and you haven't caught last week's video, we highly, highly, highly recommend Flying Saucer Pizza Company right in Salem. Amazing staff, amazing atmosphere as you went inside to pick up our order.
It was pretty different, and they were super, super nice, which I wasn't expecting.
And we highly recommend that. And we also highly recommend the Salem Trolley Tour.
Yes.
And make sure, if you can, and you see clips of the video from last week when we were on that tour, see if you can get...
B.
She almost made this a rated R video.
Well,
if you can, on that trolley tour, get the trolley with a guy named Skip. Skip was an amazing historian. He knows his Salem history, a great sense of humor, and made us feel welcome right at home. The trolley tour itself is like $22 per person. You
like
can't
an
beat
hour.
it. Yeah, it's like an hour. They really cover a lot of stuff, a lot of good sense of humor there. And also, don't forget, tip your drivers, because that knowledge, boy, they're not getting paid enough to have all of that on hand. It was pretty good. So you do have these other sites here, which are, again, still water and electric hookups. This is field parking, more like a parking lot. Might be a little more difficult up on the hill getting level, but I see some van lifers doing that. One of the things that we found here, and talking to neighbors and stuff, there's an awful lot of full-timers that come through here. Probably more so than any other state park that we've been to. So that was pretty cool to see. But as far as things to do here, there's plenty of fishing. There's plenty of kayaking. There's some amazing kayak paths that will take you out past that lighthouse and around to the other side of the beaches.
Go down the slide.
Hey, Carrie, for the kiddos, they have a pretty cool little playground set up. I am not going to go down that slide because that slide is short.
Going into the boat graveyard.
And yeah, we'll come down here because I think this loops us back to where we were. Okay. Carrie's having a little bit of a back issue on this trip here, so we're trying to go a little slower than we normally run through here and still give you the information that you guys like to have. Which, speaking of which, if you find anything here that you find interesting, intriguing, or learn something along the way, we kindly ask that you give us a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button for more future stuff as we take this trip full time and we go across the country. And we also ask that you turn on the notification bells, because we're getting a lot of people telling us, hey, we didn't know your videos were out. And we do launch a new video every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. But sometimes if you don't have that notification bell on, you'll never know. So yes, make sure you cover those bases. But yeah, as far as things to do here, about 15-minute walk going in that direction. And again, you'll see some of that in last week's video, is Willows, like pier or something like that.
I just called it the Willows, but
the Willows.
Really, there's a, that's not the name.
It's a couple of arcades, a couple of seafood restaurants and taco places and ice cream parlors. Some really cool stuff. Some really cool old buildings here to yeah, check out too.
Dead end.
So this has really got a lot to offer as far as the area goes. And boy, Salem blew our mind. Like Salem, walking around Salem and enjoying that and taking it all in. And we've lived in this area for years in New England, and we had never been to Salem, the town of Salem. Ironically, we had never thought that we had been 15 minutes from here, and we had been before. But yeah, it's really an interesting area, and it's something that if you're looking for something camping wise, just a little out of the ordinary, and you like you know, that ocean front thing, this is definitely something to keep on your list, as it's just incredible. I can't say enough things. Just to have the vents open and breathe in that salt air has been great. No allergy problems this week, which is fantastic, aside from some common stuff. But this comes up to the Harbor Master Department, so you can see a little more over Salem, and then it will loop back down and that brings us back down to our RV. But yeah, that's pretty much the thing. This is, you know, if you're looking for a party campground, there's no pools, there's no, you know, there's no bar, there's nothing like that. All right, as we come down this path, just having an exercise class, so we're going to film this way so that we don't have to see all that. But yeah, this is the backside of where we're camping. So you can see this here is all beach. Down here, a little rocky beach, but this is where all the sailboats are. And we were amazed that, see the little rowboats, they take them out. They keep rowboats stored up here and locked up, and they row them out to their spot. And they climb on top of their sailboats in the middle of the night. And they take off. We saw a couple doing that last night around, I don't know, it was like 11 o'clock or something like that, where they were just packing all their stuff up. So, pretty interesting, but people from all over the country have been here. We saw it, you know, just, yeah, it's a really, really cool spot. But you come down here.
Clam, like down by the water, they were.
I would think so.
Had like little
clam buckets and stuff like that. Yeah, I think we're walking on someone's site, but. So yeah, there's the backside. You can see our micro mini off in the distance there. And yeah. That's pretty much it. We'll bring you around the other side. We'll give you a quick overview at the end. All right, I'm going to take you inside the camp store and office here. So we have to ask about moving our site over and what that entails. I'll show you what they have for, since they seem to have basic merch and basic supplies, but they did have also beach wheelchairs here, so which are those big puffy ball ones that you can roll down into the beach. So if you have a disability or something along that lines, you'll be covered. But yeah, we're going to do some stealth video in here and see what we can find out.
So there's a place up on Cape Campground. Do you want their telephone number?
Why are you recording me?
Well, this is some of the trail that leads from the parking lot out to the lighthouse out here, which is pretty cool. And again, there's a couple of kayak launches, so if you're brave enough to go out there and kayak, you can do so. But there's these little trails and offshoots that go all around the park, which is pretty darn cool. And this will bring you straight out here to quite an amazing view. And I gotta say, scary catches up to me here. The sunsets here, absolutely incredible. Everybody talks about Key West sunsets, and which we've experienced. But I'll tell you, sometimes there's nothing like a sunset in New England, especially over the ocean. And this, boy, this is not disappointing. Well, look at this. This is your vantage point from up here. You can see all the RVs out in the distance. And if you squint, you still can't see us because we're buried behind the other side of that Class A. But look at this. And then they have steps that lead down, which I'm probably not going to take, but I can get somewhat down here. And look at that. I keep referring back to last week's video because we did have a walk around tour of a lot of this, so you can see some of those points in there. But across a pretty big ditch. This is, boy, this is it. And I can tell you that for the $45 price tag, right? $45 price tag here. Let's get some scenery behind us. The $45 price tag alone, just for the camping with the hookups and the dump pass to go down the road. Carrie and I have paid that for parking in some places just for a few hours, you know, as far as beaches go in New England. This is absolutely incredible. This is a bucket list item. It is just such a unique experience, and I can't say that enough.
It's pretty
awesome. The staff here, flipping amazing. Everybody was so super friendly from the time we came in to the time we just had to, because we have to move our site from 16D to 10A, which we'll show you at the end of this video, is our site switch. So you can see the yellow one. So you have different levels of sites here, but that was pretty cool. Yeah, everybody was just super fantastic. So that's it. So Carrie and I are going to stop the video here. We're going to show you 10A once we're moved over there, and all the excitement that comes with hitching up, moving, unhitching, all that stuff. And then from there we'll be done with this video. So stick around.
So you would think there's really not a lot of space there, but there's quite a bit of room to maneuver. Now we're moving to a new spot. Hey, Sweaty, what you doing?
Well, Carrie, I'm glad you asked.
Are you?
After moving the RV from one side over to the other side, I was able to finally put on our Winter Island Park sticker. So I relieved Carrie of her recording duties. As promised, we're going to show you Site 2. This is 10A. As you see, it has a standard hookups. It's a 50 amp, a 30 amp, and a 110. This does have a water hookup as well. And this is basically what you're looking at here. Now, we had joked earlier when we made the reservations how excited we were that we were able to get 16D because it was a waterfront property. And as we talked to the nice couple, that this campground has a lot of activity. So the couple that was here before has moved on to another site, and there seems to be a lot of site shifting going on here. So we took their site, and they were like, enjoy it because it's a great site. And at first we're like, you know, well, what's so special, right? You have the road right there, but you do have this nice tree, plenty of shade, picnic table. But when this all clears out, all these cars cleared out this afternoon, this evening, the sunset's right here. So it is actually beautiful, beautiful sight to have as well. So we're very happy to be here, very fortunate to be able to get these reservations, especially on such short notice too. So that's it. We wanted to show you around, you know, Winter Island Park. If you're in the New England area and you're looking to camp, we triple recommend this place because it has been an amazing experience. Not to mention you're camping in front of an old airplane hangar, seaplane hangar. You know, it's just a really cool vibe through this whole area. So that's it.
Okay.
We'll catch you next week.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still